Pam Poindexter, and I got involved with Nayar Healthcare through my sister-in-law's sister, who works for Nayar Healthcare. My mother was very sick in the hospital, and we knew that hospice was the next step. So that's how I got involved. The people. So I've been in the healthcare business for over 33 years, and relationships mean the most of anything in the healthcare business. And I knew that if I had that with a company, that my mother was going to be taken care of, and that we were going to be taken care of from the beginning to the end, and I was not wrong. The love and the care that we received from my mother was overwhelming. But they cared for us, and they cared for my mom in every way you can think of. Nayar helped us for 7 days, and I had their ear, whether it was by phone or in person, at any time, day or night. The nurse that came out every day, and cared for my mother and cared for us. And we laughed, we cried, we sat in silence. We did all of the above together. So I really felt like they became part of my family in those 7 days. Lisa was amazing. The owner of the company came out the night that my mother got there, and he stayed with my mother that night, and he let all of us go home. And that's what Nayar's about. It was a labor of love, and him doing that was, I knew I was in the right place. Just being there, they listened. They didn't always talk. They didn't need to talk. They were there to listen. It was a really nice shoulder to be able to lean on. And even if they weren't there, I was able to call them. They were on top of her medications because they had to work hand in hand with the nursing home. So that was a little tricky at times. But I would get them on the phone, and it wouldn't be. I would get them right to the nurses, and they would deal with my mother with everything. But Lisa was just so kind with my mother. Just, you know, she would talk to her. She never left her out, even though my mother a lot of times wasn't, you know, really present. I know she could hear us, but Lisa would talk to her and just be so kind to her. And that just meant the world to me, that she didn't leave her out. She was part of that whole process. We were at the hospital. The hospital had said, you know, there's a hospice facility you could go to, or, you know, the nursing home, I think, has their own hospice company that they call in. So this was a little bit different for them also, to bring in a different hospice company. And my mom actually made this decision. We did not make this decision. My mother made this decision of that she was done. My mother had said, I want to go home. And home was not Amelia Nursing Home. Home was to be with the Lord. And she was in so much pain, and we had been through a whole week of she had done the feeding tube to see if that would help for a few months, so that she could heal. And it just got worse and worse, and she just said, I'm done. No more treatments, no more anything. And at that point, that's when my family member, my sister-in-law, said, my sister actually works for a hospice company. I said, I didn't even know that. Who is it? And, you know, Deborah had been coming off and on to see my mom and to see us. And I still didn't know until Rhonda told me. And then when she told me it was on, because, I mean, as soon as we told Deborah, she was on it. She was on it. We decided immediately. I was like, why would I not do it? I love her. You know, I know she's going to take care of us, and she would not steer us in the wrong direction, and boy, she did not. All I did was give her my mother's Medicare number. I don't think I did anything. I think I signed maybe one paper. They took that. It was so emotional, and it was such a hard time that was beautiful, because nobody can deal with that at that time. So it worked out great. I don't even remember signing paperwork. I remember Deborah taking it, her calling whoever she needed to call at her office and saying, this is what we need to do. And they dealt with the nursing home, because like I said, it was a little bit tricky, because the nursing home doesn't usually let outside nursing, but they have to do it, but they usually don't use outside hospice companies. So she did all the paperwork. She got it all lined up, and everything worked out beautifully. But with my dad, we had a different hospice company came in, and we didn't have any trouble. It's amazing the people that work in that field. How they do that day in and day out is such a gift. And they were wonderful. I mean, it was not but they weren't there every day. And I understand why they weren't. I mean, it's a big company, and with Nayar, it's just really personal. And that's what I want to let people know is find a company that you're going to feel like because they really are going to be around, and they're going to be like family. They're going to be in your personal space in the most trying, difficult time in your life. Is death, sickness and death. And it was hard. I mean, Mom, no food or water for 7 days. And that she was able to make that choice, but that they were there with us, and they were there 100%. Don't not do it. You always hear people say, well, hospice is the end, but the end can be beautiful. Don't do it on your own. Really have somebody there that can help you through that. And I have so many friends, so many family members, church family. My pastor was there every day. But this was just a different, they were in charge of all your meds, it was just a different feel. And it really means the world to have that. Don't try to do it on your own. Really do find a company that is going to, and I'm saying probably most of them are like that. I've dealt with 2 different ones, and they were wonderful. But this company truly was a step above, because I couldn't even imagine somebody being there every day. I literally called Lisa one night, and she came at 10 o'clock at night and stayed till like 3 in the morning. We thought during the week, we thought, every time, this is it, this is it, this is it. And it never was it until it was it. And she was there. She was right there. Nobody else would do that. Big corporations can't do what a small company can do. And I know Nayar is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I hope they'll continue to have this small company mentality, because I think that means the world.